You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show.
Nobody knows where they might wake up. Oh, end up. I swear I know the song. Starr, really, selfie?
Going live. Bam, bam. Tune in. Is it funny every time?
Yes, it's funny every time.
Really
Bing is for doing, you guys, and we are back for another Grey's Anatomy After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Hi, everyone. Jason J. Carter in the hot seat. Happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
That's right. You're rocking that pink.
That pink. Hashtag it. Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
I love it. I love it. Stealing my hashtags. I'm your girl, Starr Session, and thanks for coming back to another episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Hi, I'm Kelly.
Hey, Kelly. Kelly, so glad to have you back this year. We missed you last
I
week.
missed you guys last
Playing
week.
hooky.
I know.
That's all right.
You know, it's all good. AfterBuzz is high. Hope you guys are doing well. So tonight, Grey's Anatomy 200th episode. Hashtag Grey's 200. Hashtag Grey's Anatomy on Twitter. And
Hashtag disappointed. Sorry.
Right. No, hashtag pow.
I know. I got all dressed up. I put on like my sparkly gear because it was the gala.
I
event.
manscaped. I mean.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I think I was just really disappointed in this episode.
It's a little lackluster for me. I mean, there were a little bit. There were cute points here and there, but overall,
no, not the business. Not a winner. Okay, here's the thing though. Normally on every other season, the 100th episode of Grey's Anatomy was the bomb. Every season they have a milestone is usually marked with a really good episode. But you know what? I've been reading the blogs online and as well as a lot of the Twitter followers are saying that Grey's is missing something this season.
Yes.
Regardless of if we love the characters. Of course, we love the characters. We know the story, but it's just the way they're tying it all in together is just not doing it for me. There's no magic at all with Grey's anymore. There's no, I don't know, it's just letting me down, you know?
Well, I just think the trauma is a little bit different because in all 9 seasons leading up, there's always been kind of something that somebody's working throughout the whole season, and it usually involved Meredith, and now it's really not.
She's happy.
Since the focus is away from her, maybe that's what we're not liking. I'm not really sure, but this whole Calzona thing, like, I get it, but it's still not doing for me
but
with,
the
like,
Calzona, everyone is like in love with Calzona right now. Like they're starting new Twitter handles like I love Calzona.
I know.
Just the storyline of even them breaking up, it's like giving us something to like look forward to, because Meredith used to have that like, oh, they're breaking up, they're getting back together, and that's what Calzona is going through right now.
Yeah.
Well, just real quick, AfterBuzzers, every time they say Calzona, I think of a pizza.
Calzone.
A calzone.
Hello.
A pizzone. I'm instantly hungry. And also, Callie still does wear the flannel. Hashtag Callie wears the flannel.
Yes.
Want to give a big shout out to all of our wonderful Twitter followers. Want to say what's up to Alicia Harding. Yay, baby. Hey, Autumn Quinn, a new follower. Thank you so much for following. Grace Fix. Kyle White, we love you. Sanja Bumbar. And also, we got to say what's up to...
I've got one.
Kentu.
Nice. And just a GSMHHGRL.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a lot of letters.
We love you. Thank you so much for tweeting,
Thanks for tweeting.
watching, following us. It means a lot to us. So let's talk about tonight's episode. They had a fundraiser because they need to get some money, which everyone always looks stellar at the fundraiser. However, me and Kelly were chatting about, poor Yang. I feel like why don't they give her like a straight do, give her some really good makeup, because that red lipstick, every time they try to make her pretty, it doesn't work.
I feel like all they did was just slap some lipstick on her and call it a day.
But that lipstick...
It's not her color.
It definitely wasn't her color. It looked better when it was faded at the end of the night, like at the end of the episode. The color settled in and it was better. But at the very beginning, it just overtook her face like too much, and all you saw, it's kind of like almost made her like have duck lips like all the time.
I agree. Meredith was the same for me as well. In this episode, all she had on was lipstick.
Yeah, and then I'm sure they had on haute couture dresses, like Valentino, and they covered them up.
No, everybody's dresses I thought were great.
Beautiful.
The dresses were beautiful. It was great. It was just that shade of red on either one of them just wasn't working for me. I just felt that it took away from, it just did the opposite of what I think they intended it to do, at least in my opinion.
And the cinematography of the show tonight wasn't on point either. Every return, every bump to commercial and return from commercial was the aerialist. I kept seeing someone's ass. I thought she was twerking in the silks because that's all we saw was ass.
It was very Cirque du Soleil.
Very, very wrong. It was very, very Cirque du Soleil wrong.
Right? But I loved it when the moment happened when they walked in the door and they're doing these circus acts. I was like, what's going to happen tonight?
Yeah.
Because it was like that big wow factor, but it didn't match why they were there. You know what I mean?
The
They're trying to raise money.
Right.
The wedding planner.
Random.
The event planner.
Wedding event, it's all a party.
Yeah, the party planner.
But
and
there
that
wasn't a really good connection there. We didn't really know who she was. We didn't know what the problems were. At one point there was an ice, and that's all we kind of heard there. And it's just like, it was very disconnected, the whole thing, I thought.
All over the place.
Yeah, but she definitely looked like Big Bird. I love when they made that reference, because that yellow dress was over the top. The whole thing was over the top, and she went way too far with it.
Way too far. And then, so let's just sum up the party. The only great thing that happened at the party was the girl who fell on the planner.
The best part.
And her bone coming through her foot.
Yeah,
we were like,
I know, it was so gross. I can barely stomach that stuff. I could never be a doctor. It totally creeps me out.
I know, I'm like, how did you not see the bone coming out of her leg and the blood gushing? Oh,
I
loved it.
It was boring me to death. I was asleep.
And my favorite part actually was Owen and the new doctor.
Emma.
Ooh, I liked that.
Emma. Who is Emma? Who is this Emma chick?
She's from another hospital.
She has great teeth.
She hijacked their party to try to raise funds for her own hospital.
She's a shark.
I like that.
Emma.
Yes. Totally.
Well, they definitely had chemistry.
Of course they had chemistry.
What do you mean, of course?
Because, look, Owen had chemistry with Cahill last season, too. I wanted them to have a threesome or something,
Yeah, that never really...
Owen's hot, sorry.
Owen's got it. Hashtag.
I totally get it.
Disagree. Every week. I disagree. I disagree every week with that one.
I can't believe you don't see it.
I don't
He's got that Scottish swag.
He really does. I'm all about it.
And he's not blinking as much anymore.
Oh, I think he's got your memo. Don't blink.
I'm going to tweet Kevin McKidd, dude, thanks for... Because he has, like, his eyebrows were, like, the same... I mean, I'm sure the drapes match the curtains and stuff.
Why do we have to
go there?
The eyebrows match, too.
Oh, my God.
Stop it. Stop it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but the chemistry was definitely there, and Yang was totally jealous. It was, like, the big word of the night. Like, even though she wasn't looking her best, even though she was trying, she was still jealous.
And, I felt for her. Like, I'm a big Yang advocate, and I think that her and Crowan have been, through a lot. And I would have been jealous too, because it's that thing, like, you don't... It's more than if I can't have you, no one can, or I didn't want you when you wanted me, but now that you don't want me, I want you. It's more like she does want him, but she knows they can't be together.
They just don't work. They don't want the same things in the end.
But it's like once you property of so and so on somebody, it's property of so and so on somebody. That's her man.
Yeah, but he wasn't really flirting. He was really going after the money, telling the corny jokes, But when he saw her going after the money too, he was like, oh my, he got jealous first. Yeah. He looked across the room and realized, like, oh, she's kind of flirting and touching the guy's hand and reading his palm and yada, yada, yada. And so that's when he felt liberty, like, you know what? She said I should start dating. Let me, whatever. Yada, yada, yada.
In theory.
Dating.
Well, he didn't even really get it until Emma actually had to pretty much spell it out for him. Yeah. He just really didn't, sometimes guys are a little slow. Yeah. But he just really didn't get it. And I thought that was very cute and endearing of his character, because he, just didn't think about it that way.
And what was really refreshing was that she didn't know about Christina.
No.
So it was innocent. It was like she liked him, and poor Christina, it was like a train wreck, and she was like watching it happen in a good way, because here's this woman swooping in on her man, and she's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go home then. Yeah, and then she walks away.
I really was very glad that he didn't blow off Emma.
Yeah.
Because Yang had just invited him to drink.
Right.
And he just kind of was like, kind of got a little stunned because Emma shows up, but I'm glad that Yang kind of that shows
it put her in her place. Right. It definitely put her in her place.
Well, it gave her what she wanted. She's the one that wanted them to start dating because, and rightfully so. He wants a family. They want different things. They can't be together. There's no sense in dragging it out.
I know.
It's true.
Trying to do the mature thing about it, but it's hard.
It's hard.
But I can't believe Yang flirted so much, got the money from the other guy, and still was. I was kind of like hoping. Get it, girl.
She's dumb though, because he could easily cancel that check. I was like,
right? Right?
Like,
I was thinking the same thing.
You weren't gonna give him some. He got some for that ass, girl. That check is a stop payment, only $29 at B of A. The end.
Right? But he was kind of into it, even though she denied him. So I think his character might come back. So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Okay, no, I hope he doesn't come back because he was not a looker.
He was not a looker, but.
You know what Yang needs? Yang needs a
black
brother.
guy. I knew you were going to say that.
She needs a brother to just be like, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh, no.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Because, Burke, she was all sprung on Burke. She was in chocolate pheromones. She was breathing it in.
Oh, my God.
I'm serious. Anyways, but.
Let's move on to another couple.
Calzona, also known as Pizza.
The pizza couple. Callie spotted Arizona, and there was that moment of like,
of longing, sadness, disappointment.
They were never
all the feelings you go through.
And then it was like, she disappeared into the closet.
Then it was like, yeah, she died.
Right.
And she's telling everybody that her wife passed away and starts telling these stories and then gets cornered by a real widow telling real sad stories.
See, I've had that. Once you start lying and it's like you can't backtrack it like that fast. It's like pull it together.
I went to USC. You went to USC? I did. Did you take Yeah.
Whose class were you in?
Right. Or
what year did you graduate?
Do you know Spanish? Poquito? Excuse me, what? ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo? So you say what?
Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you don't want to get caught in that lie.
No. It's a rabbit hole you don't want to go
The whole
down.
Cali, Arizona thing is just, for the life of me, I never really thought they had great chemistry throughout the course of Grey's. I've never been a fan of Calzona only because it's just so weird. Like, she's blonde, she's brunette. It's just weird. But it's just very weird to me. They don't aesthetically, it's not doing it. But tonight, Callie cannot be mad.
Where are you going with this?
It's just, I don't know. Like, I wish that Arizona would be like, I was a hoe. I cheated. Callie, we're done. And Callie moves on to somebody else and just leave it at that.
Well, no, because it's not that easy. They're married. That's why I like that this is dragging out, because when you marry somebody, it's not that you don't just break up
and be like, peace out.
They're married. They have a family. You figure it out. You have to work through it. And even if it's spending time apart, and as we saw tonight, and how they're just still at opposite ends, and they each got to admit the parts that they played and whatever happened. Yeah. But that's what grown-ups do. You don't just like break up and move on. This ain't high school.
But
they're married.
But here's the thing, Kelly.
I like that.
I agree.
Like how you feel, girl.
You always hit the nail on the head with your explanations of things, Kelly. But one of the things that I would like to see, I guess, for the writers is make their issues more intense, because now it's just longing gazes across. Like, it should be.
But it is an intense issue.
The issue's intense, but it's not coming across that way.
You got to think about the way that she's gazing. Arizona's gazing at her in that "I'm sorry, forgive me" way, and Callie's looking at her like, "I can't believe that you did this to me." It's two very different gazes, and that's real. That's more relatable than some BS that we see with hands that and bomb bodies and like all these different things. This is like a real relationship thing that we're seeing, and I think that's why it might be a little bit boring, because it's not extravagant.
It's not. There's no drama for me.
But it's drama in a more like real way.
Well, we already thought of what the drama could be to spice this story up. She was inside of the closet with April, and there was actually a moment of chemistry, and we were like, okay, we're planning out the next episode, right?
Okay. AfterBuzzers, tweet us right now if you thought that April and Arizona should have made out.
Right? They got a little drunk. They were relating a little
College days throwback.
Boom. And then then her next episode, she could be questioning her Christianity
and her sexuality.
And like all that stuff.
Kelly was like,
a good episode.
Callie should have walked in if they were making out. That would have been bomb.
I was expecting that to happen versus "Can I try on your leg?"
Right? That was the weirdest moment of like all time. It was quirky and weird. Like, it was just off. Like, why would you want to try on someone's leg in the first place?
Right.
Weird.
I don't know.
Well, tonight we also saw. We almost saw more of the softer side of Karev. Some winos, some actually heroin crackheads get rolled in. Junkies, man. Shonda's like, let's just make them junkies. Forget alcohol.
Which was different.
Right. I mean, yes.
Shake it up a little bit. Not just an alcohol-related incident.
True.
And one of the junkies mumbled something that was really familiar to Karev that his dad had said, and Karev gave a backstory that he hasn't seen his dad in 20 years, et cetera, et cetera. So this really sent him on through a weird place that throughout the show. Okay, they were promoting this as Karev's big secret reveal. I thought he was going to reveal he had like HIV or something that would have been no, honestly, but
a bigger reveal than the family,
because we've known that he grew up in the dumpsters out back in Iowa. We knew that, so it's like.
But we also remember he had a really horrible relationship with his dad. His dad used to beat up him and his little brother.
Right.
So it was a big struggle for him, and that's kind of what we saw here in a very subtle way, because he cares about what happens to him, but he doesn't. He's not sure it's him, but he is, and he's running back and forth, and all. That's all we really see.
It's so weird to be like really subtle years later, like, is that my dad? I don't know what he looks like. That's like kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like it was a little strange, but I can completely understand. Like, years go by and people change. You know what I mean? And so with that said, like, he really, piggybacking on what you said, he really kind of showed a sensitive side this episode, even though he was leaving his girlfriend behind at the gala, and she was the only intern that got to go to the gala, which was weird, in her wedding dress.
Right.
Can we talk about that?
Weird. Well, Joe's annoying this season. No offense to Joe fans, but she's
why?
Because she's just so like, she's like a chihuahua, like always just there.
She's
like,
always there.
Nitpicking.
Yeah, she's always like, yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? Oh my God. Like, she's just so whiny. She's like a whinier Katherine Heigl.
Well, it's because he doesn't talk. He doesn't communicate. And I think that's kind of what he needs, because he needs somebody to pull it out of him. The way Yang went into his room and woke him up that day and got it out of him that he's not having sex with Joe yet.
Yeah.
Just on him, because he doesn't talk. He doesn't do anything.
Right.
He does what we saw him do. He runs back and forth and is quiet and goes and sulks, and he doesn't communicate.
But I miss his character being like something like juicy. He hasn't had anything. He's just kind of like, luckily hasn't been X'd off the show.
Right. He's like the fledgling. He's just like, you got brownie points for being on the show for a minute, so we're not gonna get rid of you. Like, and that leads us to.
Well, I mean, he kind of needs to not be a jerk all the time.
Well, yeah, he's evolved.
He's growing. We're seeing him grow a little bit, and his characters calm down. We don't see as much drama. Meredith, we're not seeing as much drama. So now we're getting into these other characters, and maybe that's just not what we're just not feeling it.
Right, because we got used to it's new and it's growing pains, I guess, right?
Maybe that's just it.
But one of the painful things that I'm seeing watching the show is the relationship between the Chief and Bailey. Because we're seeing the Chief in a whole new light that really is giving him some depth, believe it or not. Because we knew he was an alcoholic. We knew he had the affair. He had this backstory that was brilliant for so many seasons, and now we're seeing him in a more vulnerable, I wouldn't say irate state, but he's not strong. He's not authoritative.
Well, now he's dealing with all of that.
Right.
Because, his wife died not knowing him. She had Alzheimer's. She was in love with somebody else when he lost her. He knows he cheated on her, all the bad things he did. And now he's at almost the end of his life. He almost died, and now he just doesn't want to deal with it.
And he's kind of all alone. I mean, even though he has his family from the hospital, he's a little bit alone. And I must say that they are doing a great job with his makeup, because it's very believable that he could be dying. You know what I mean? And when he's showing a side of like just being down and out, you know what I mean? And being frustrated and like hitting Bailey. Like, that was just like a moment of like, she even shook her hand. I'm like, you could really hurt this surgeon. Like, you could really hurt Bailey. But I guess.
Yeah, she's tough. She's tough as nails.
She's a tough girl. And this episode, I don't know. I'm sick of her being the softie. Right. I'm ready for her to get crazy again.
And be the.
Why didn't she know what was going on in the ER? Like, I want her to be like on top of those interns like she used to be, because that's what I love about Bailey. So missing that.
But again, like I always say every week, Shonda says that this show, there's an ebb and flow. We're not always going to get, that. I have a Grey's Anatomy appetite. When I watch the show, I want to feel a certain way. I want to experience certain things because I got used to that. So it's kind of like we've been conditioned to have things go a certain way. And now that they're not, we're kind of like, but who knows? Last season, at the beginning, we were kind of, iffy about it, but towards the end, when the arc started happening and when it got deeper into the season, it was like, whoa, things are finally we're getting some meat. So I think things could turn out right. And,
but Bailey did get a little like feisty when it came down to the patient who had cancer and it's terminal.
And was a little racist.
Which was kind of funny.
Inappropriate.
Right? I love the racial slurs in this episode. I've never said I've loved the racial slurs until like today.
They were clever. They were quick,
They were very quick and clever, and he's old, so it's kind of like funny. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just every time he spoke, or even when he had that monologue about like you need to fight for me.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I was like, he's creepy, but I love it. I kind of like it. I like it. I like that he's creepy and crazy. So yeah.
Well, okay, so let's go back to the gala. The gala.
What is left of the gala?
Well, what was left of the gala is, Avery and Stephanie.
Avery stepped up as a man still.
And just real quick, Jerica Hinton, hi, if you're listening. I could have sworn you said last season Shonda was giving you more romantic hair. I ain't seen anything romantic about the hair you're sporting this season.
Right? It's still frizzy. It's still, like, not moving. It's not romantic. You know, it's just not really cute. Like, I really want to get her a weave and, like, lay it out
Or just do a real fro. I mean, just you know?
It's like an in-between hot mess. And it's like she rolled out of bed and, like, didn't even, like...
It's like a fro weave.
Yes. Oh, hashtag it.
Hashtag free.
Oh, my gosh. And while you guys are hashtagging, don't forget to go to iTunes, rate and comment, and give us 5 stars because we want to be #1 over here. Tell a friend, and don't forget to find us on Twitter because we are Twitter crazy.
We're twats.
We're twat. Oh, wait, is that too much?
No,
I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a twat. I don't want to be a twat.
Jason, did you just say that?
No,
I didn't say.
You didn't say twat. You said twat. What? I said it.
Hey, you guys. Well, you know what? Since we're being hilarious,
Since we're being hilarious.
I mean, since we're being totally inappropriate. But you know what's not inappropriate? Serial Buddies. Maria Menounos' movie. Amazing. I actually have 3 copies of it. One because, I watch this movie when I want to get a good laugh. There's so many wonderful people in it. Kathy Lee Gifford, Maria. I mean, it's just funny as hell.
Right?
And there's a lot of funny movies, but this one's probably the funniest. I mean...
It's a little inappropriate, too. Goes right along with
You know, the word inappropriate is inappropriate, okay? That movie is appropriate.
I like it.
The Serial Buddies...
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what makes it funny.
I know. I just hate that word inappropriate. Like, you're so inappropriate. Bitch, you're inappropriate.
Wow.
You're being inappropriate
Right now. Guys, go download it.
Inappropriately fight.
Go download it on iTunes. It's hilarious. You will not be disappointed. Maria Menounos, Ken Odegaard, the CEOs of AfterBuzz, making sure your laughs go on and on and on and on and on and on. Boom.
Bam.
Pow.
Hashtag it. Hashtag it. I love how you're stealing my hashtag.
Because you're so creative. You're like a genius. All right, back to Grey's Anatomy, episode 200, season 10.
Oh, horrible.
We're
talking about Avery.
Avery, okay, first of all, Starr, you think he's hot to try?
Oh my gosh.
There's something about him just does not do it for me.
Well, okay, let's go back because there's a moment when he gets really hot in this episode. Like, we've been waiting for him to become a man and step up. He went from the intern into owning the hospital. And now he's like, you know, we're going to raise money. We're going to do it the best way we can by having a speech. This girl falls in the middle of the speech. So how does he spin this? You know, how does he spin this tragic event where they're supposed to be getting money? People are walking out the door and he's like realizing the money is at the hospital. You know, we want to show our talents. What are you giggling about over there?
Kensu13, thank you so much for tweeting
Mr. Kevin, I like him.
Hashtag free and hashtag twat. Okay, so back to Avery. Thank you, Kensu.
No, but Avery definitely just became a man when he was using his words very wisely by bringing the people from the gala to come up and watch the surgery on the girl. And when he was like, you know, this is what we need the money for. This is what we do. This is the circus
this
act.
matters.
This is the circus. Yeah. So with that said, like, I feel like he's really coming into his own as a character on the show. But then when he really became sexy is when she ran over to him.
Oh, wait, but we have to talk about why first.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about the kiss. Go ahead.
Back at the hospital, we've got these 2 interns. It's just Ross and Stephanie that are running the trolley, they're running the ER, and he wants to be a superstar. So he's stabbing people in the heart, doing all kinds of things.
He's doing a cardiosynthesis.
He went rogue, like straight up rogue, like off the charts.
No, not rogue, AWOL. AWOL rogue.
But then she starts taking charge and ordering people as the ambulance is coming in.
Stat, yes. I was like, she is working it. She went out of control on that one.
So they did well. They got it together. They saved some lives. They did some cool things, and they're having this moment. How excited they are that they took charge. They were able to do this, and Ross kisses Stephanie, and Avery walks in.
And that came out of nowhere, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
you didn't see it coming.
I totally could see. Like, I could see as they were talking. That's just, I could see.
That would have not been nearly as intense as if Callie walked in on her.
I know.
Right?
The thing that I did like was Avery's reaction, because he just looks.
He's like,
okay then.
All right.
Yeah, because he's like over it. Like people are like cheating on him left and right, or people don't not left and right. That's wrong. People are just hurting his heart.
Dropping him.
Period. He is too good looking.
He says just as much. He's like, I'm too old for this. I'm not gonna deal with this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because I would be doing everything on my P's and Q's to stay with him. Hello, right?
Well, and granted, she didn't do anything.
It's true.
She was just on the receiving end of an unwanted. Well, I mean, we don't know if it was really unwanted. But,
she ran over there with her her afro. What is the hashtag?
A freeve.
A freeve. She ran over there with her freeve.
In the wind.
And the wind was barely moving it because it's like frozen. Okay, that hairdo is frozen. It's not even flowing. She ran over there with the freeve, and she tried to put him straight, and that's when he got real sexy on me. I was like, ooh.
He did.
He was like, I don't care if you have a freeve, I love you, girl.
And I don't believe it.
You gotta talk to me, girl.
I don't believe that chemistry. Like, let's get back with April and let's move this story along.
And I'm not a huge fan of
what is it?
April.
Not, but I have to say, this Stephanie, she just annoys me.
She's not the one.
I can't.
She's not the one.
No, I can't.
Unless she gets a weave or look as good as she did as the last
at the
gala.
wedding. I mean,
or the wedding.
AfterBuzzers. Y'all remember how dope Stephanie looked at this long leg?
It was flat iron,
creamy crack in the hair.
Yeah, it was that salon.
She's busy.
Straight.
She's working in the ER. She don't have time to straighten her hair.
Look, they got flat iron. She could work it out.
Yeah.
She'd be like, hold on.
No, I've heard a lot of complaints that they keep adding black people on the show that aren't good looking, and I feel like Shonda wants to look like the best. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's like a true thing, but why doesn't she have good hair? You know what I mean? Like, let's be real.
I mean, look, if Beyonce
Am I being
and the
controversial
Braxtons,
here?
no, not at all. I think okay. First of all,
Maybe it goes with the character in some way we just don't see.
Right.
I mean, there has to be a reason for it, and maybe it just is because her character is a little disheveled, not all put together, and a little still immature and kind of growing. And maybe as she evolves, so will her hair.
Because Kepner, remember when we first saw Kepner? I mean, she was like Marsha Brady, and then she grew into being.
But that made sense.
But you got to remember too, they wear scrubs all the time, so there's not really anything else to go off besides makeup and hair.
Right.
There's accessories maybe, but there's not really much to go for as far as putting the character together.
I'd be like, can we make me prettier? I look real ugly. I don't want to put this on my reel. I know I'm on a hit television show, but I'm not liking it.
But I'm reaching. I'm just thinking maybe it's part of the character development, and there's a reason that as she gets her
it already.
See, episode 5, she'll have like
hair will
ponytails.
Because even Zola has better hair right now.
Zola's hair is on point this episode.
She got afro puffs. Hey, rock on with the bad stuff.
I like that.
Okay, well, you know what? Jerica Anton, we love you. We'd love to have you back in the studio. And we could talk more about
We really would, though.
Because she even said herself, she was like, I know.
She said she was going to have more romantic hair. She lied.
Maybe it's coming up. Maybe we just haven't seen it. Now that he said, all right, if we're going to do this, girl, let's get it together, maybe now her hair will come together.
Oh,
she'll get caught in the Maybe she'll get caught in the rain.
All right.
Let's move on.
Move on. No more freeves.
Oh my gosh. I think that was really it.
I mean, that's pretty much.
I mean, that's the show in a nutshell. Nothing really. I mean,
if you want to call in and tell us what you think, let us know.
Karev, that's his father, and Joe spilled the beans before, and then Karev
because he was about to say he didn't want it to know, right?
And then, but he kicks a garbage can.
Well, he's upset.
Well, he's upset that he's in. I don't know.
Well, he's upset that it's his dad. He's upset that his dad's probably still a junkie. And now he has to deal with it. He's been, running away from it for the last 20 years, and now this is something he's really going to have to deal with.
It's his turn. I mean, Meredith's dad came back,
we haven't really seen.
Callie's dad was there
once, right? Didn't we see his brother?
Yeah. His brother was, in and out of homes too. Well,
we were saying that we wanted something out of his character, so maybe this will be the arc that we've been waiting for, because he's been very lackluster. We're using that word again. Very lackluster for the last season and a half. Yeah. So it's time for him to really step it up because I like when Karev is in the forefront because I think he's very good looking
growing up. I think he's looking better as he gets older.
Yeah.
He's aging very well. I like that.
He's definitely a looker.
Yeah.
Well,
before we end the show, what's his name was juggling? Who knew he could juggle?
Yes, Patrick Dempsey.
Yes.
Have you guys ever seen Maid of Honor?
yes, that's made
Yes.
He juggled plates in that movie.
He's very talented.
He's juggled in a few movies.
I really enjoyed that. I was like, you can
so
juggle me
talented.
anytime.
He's a race car driver and a juggler.
He's living on the edge.
Living on the edge, still looking good. All right, that was my last 2 cents.
Me too. But I really want to see more of their dresses, what they were wearing, because I love when they Meredith. For the life of me,
Meredith did not look good this episode.
She's matronly. Her dress was great.
Everybody's dress was great.
What you saw in the dress.
That's annoying that she's like all flat chested and she had to go breastfeed. Like, let's this is ridiculous. Right? Am I wrong?
No,
right?
Starr.
Where are the bosoms?
Maybe the dress just flattened them down a little
Flatten them down.
Well, ladies, I say this. It's only the third episode, correct? So
it can only go up from here.
because last season 10, I mean, they can't give it all to us up front because then we're gonna put her out towards the end. So who knows? I do anticipate more wonderful things coming out in season 10 because rumors are flying that this could very well be the last season. The head of ABC said no, they want to keep Grey's Anatomy on as much as possible. However, certain people contracts are done. We already know we're losing Sandra Oh. She was like a pillar on the show.
That's going to start coming into play. We saw from the previews for next episode. She and Meredith are going to start getting into it a little bit.
You are not as talented as me. You're right.
Oh no, it was the look. The Meredith looks have been really good this season.
Exactly. She's a mom now. She's got no time for this.
She got that that head whipped.
It was like, bitch, what?
Oh my gosh.
Bitch, what? I am not the one, what?
She had that mom look like, you said what?
I am just as talented as you are. No, you're not.
But this happened before where, they were fighting and Meredith said some people are just naturally talented and others have to work for it. And it was a direct jab at Yang, and that really tested the relationship there. But the look alone was like, ooh, it's going to be good. Bitch, what?
We'll see how
all right, well, that was...
I've got some news and stuff. I have some fun stuff to share.
Thanks, Steven.
Yes. All right, so I was reading this kind of little fun thing on TVGuide.com, and it kind of tells the story of everybody's audition tapes and how they got their parts.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so pick a character, any character, because it's everybody's.
Bailey.
I'm not going to read them all. Okay, so Bailey, she was actually in New York, and she had to go to ABC in New York and go on tape with a casting, and she thought she was completely wrong for the character, but for whatever reason, they had her come in, and she said that her whole attitude was, I have nothing to lose, whatever, I'm going to go and do this. And then they flew her out to LA for like a callback. She went in, she did it, and then she just thought, oh well, free trip to LA. And then the next day they called her and she got the part.
Wow.
I love it.
And did you know that Sandra Oh actually auditioned for Bailey first?
That's
that's one of the wonderful things about Shauna. She wrote these roles to be not gender specific. They could have been. She actually changed Yang for Yang to make it an Asian role.
Yeah, so that was really cute.
Okay, do the Chief, James Pickens Jr.
All right. Let's see. So
thorough, Kelly.
Yeah.
He did a standard audition. He had just come off a show that had done 5 episodes on NBC. So he got a call to go and audition for Grey's, and he thought it was okay, kind of uneventful, whatever. But he got a call back to come in, and he was the only one that got called back for Dr. Weber. So he said he remembered going to Disney, and Chandra and Peter Horton were there, and he got a couple of notes from Shonda, and then he said he actually did the monologue for the pilot where he's standing in the operating room telling all the interns that probably they're not going to all last.
Right.
And then he said that he did that monologue, and they asked him to step out of the room for a minute. And then when he came back in, they told him, what are you doing for the next 5 years or so? Do you want to have this role? And he was like, oh my God, yes, please.
Lastly, Katherine Heigl.
Oh, she's the only one that's on here because she's not on anymore. But I do have some Katherine Heigl news because Ellen Pompeo recently gave an interview to the New York Post where she talked about Katherine Heigl's exit, how things were just kind of spinning out of control. And, she said that she understands why she left, but basically she said, she shouldn't have re-upped her contract, signed on for more money, and then tried to get out of it. She said, I get it, $12 million for a movie, but she re-signed with us, and then she tried to get out of it, and then her movie career didn't take off.
At all.
all.
So she's like, it was kind of bad. And she actually talks about Burke, about Isaiah Washington, how originally he was supposed to be her love interest. But she didn't want the interracial relationship that way because she said it hit too close to home for her. Because she's her husband that she's married to is an African American. She didn't want it to be the same thing. Sure. So she actually said, "I want that Dempsey kid." Gotcha. And that's kind of like how that happened. And she thought that that Isaiah was pretty, kind of hurt over that, and that's kind of how the whole kind of bad blood started when he didn't get that role.
Well, what we do know,
could have been
right, and we do know that Ellen Pompeo does make the most money on the show. She's what, $350,000 an episode.
Something like that. But I mean, they gave her that role. She wanted to do another pilot. She actually wanted to do the pilot that actually Karev, what is his real name? Justin Chambers. He actually did the pilot. The show didn't get picked up. It was a show called Secret Service. And that was the one that Ellen Pompeo originally wanted to do instead of Grey's Anatomy. But her people talked her into doing Grey's Anatomy instead.
How things could have been different.
Yeah, but you know what? Thank you, universe, because you have delivered to us 10 amazing seasons of a wonderful, epic, dynamic show.
Absolutely.
So this is great, Kelly. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Want us to give a shout out to all of our Twitter followers again and all of our AfterBuzzers. We love you so much. Let's move on to predictions. Freeve's Anatomy. Thank you, Kinsu. Kinsu13, we love you. He's like, it's free, #Freeve's Anatomy.
Well, we also have to say congratulations to Jesse Williams, who is going to be a dad. He and his wife are expecting their first baby.
Yay. And also, we have to say happy birthday to Julie Parton. She's not here tonight.
Yes, happy birthday, Julie.
It's her 21st birthday
but
today.
She will be back next week. So if you've been missing her, she'll be back next week.
Okay, so predictions. I predict, look, I'm just going to put out there, I predict Karev gets to know his father, they're friends. They go through, like, you beat me in the dumpster, I dumpster dive, the end.
And then is he going to go through, and then maybe he'll go through rehab and become a better person?
Or the dad will die.
Ooh, I like the twist there. All right. And then what about, I don't know. Yeah.
What about Calzona?
Calzona.
I think it's still going to be strained for a while. I think that's, Callie's going to find out that she went home with April. It's going to be like this whole thing. I just want to see that drama.
Because they got into a cab together. And we're never wrong. You know what I mean? We always have a hunch, and somehow it comes into fruition.
To fruition.
Into
fruition.
Yes.
No,
there it is. There it is. You guys got me, right? It's been a long day, okay?
Yeah.
Hello, long day. But I just feel like Meredith is... And Yang is going to get into a really huge fight. And with that said, I think that's going to help with her exit off the show, is what we said earlier. Because do you think she's going to go in the middle of the season, or she's going to just die at the end?
I think, honestly, she's going to complete the whole season.
But
and then die at the end.
She's not supposed to die, though, is she?
I don't think she dies.
No. I don't think she dies.
Why?
Because I think they're going to leave it open in case, for whatever reason. But I thought I read somewhere that she wasn't going to die, but I could totally be wrong.
Who's going to say, like, you can, or I want her to die?
Yang,
those are always fun. Deaths are always...
If Yang died, I think that would be like, wow. That would be as big as the Breaking Bad finale.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I want something big.
Yeah. Well, maybe, but I would be heartbroken.
No, I would be too. Okay, I'm acting like I don't care, but I do.
Yeah.
Right, well,
so, anyways,
I think these Twitter comments. Thank you guys. It's really funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're making you laugh, Roxy.
Yep. Hit us up on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Hit us up on iTunes and YouTube. We love our AfterBuzzers and our Twitter fans. You guys are phenomenal. Until next time, I am Jason J. Carter. Find me online. You know where to find me.
That's right. I'm Starr Session. You can follow me at Starr Session.
And you can follow me at Kelly with an IE079.
Woo!
Bye, guys.
See you next time.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.